Welcome in Yellow Jackets to a new edition of Tech Talks. I'm Andy Demetra, and we are pleased to be joined once again on Tech Talks by your head coach for Georgia Tech softball, Aileen Morales. Aileen, great to catch up with you again. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. It's I think 70 outside it feels like, so we'll take it after Monday. We love a sunny warm day in these outdoor sports.
You love any day that you can spend at Mewborn, but yes, when that
Yeah.
mercury is a little higher, it certainly only adds to the enjoyment. Well, let's talk about fall ball because you guys have just
Yeah.
wrapped up, Eileen. That included some matchups against Tennessee and Auburn, a team that went to the regionals last year that returns 11 players from that squad. But how did you guys leave fall ball a better team than when you entered it?
Yeah, I mean, I think fall is all about growing and learning, what's your best lineup, right? What's that combination? So, you play games, you play outside competition, you put some different players in there and give them opportunities. And so, Tennessee and Auburn were our last three fall games. So we played Tennessee twice and then Auburn once, and was really proud of the way the team competed. I think those are probably our three best games. And so, exciting because yes, we have returners, we have some experience in the outfield and Paige Vukadinovich and Alyssa Willer returning. And then, but in the circle was just really impressed with our transfers and then some of the development of our younger players. So Madeline Johnson threw, seven complete against Tennessee and it was a four hitter. And so it's really exciting to see, and that's a program, that's a team that's got one of the best arms in the country that we faced offensively as well. And so, I think we lost 4-2 in eight, which was obviously never want to lose, but fall, I think we learned a lot in that game. And then great outing, game two as well from, kind of a pitch by committee, with Kinley Hillary, who's a transfer as well, three great innings for us out of the gate. And, Timber Harris got some great innings, Sydney Watts, Mac Caulfield came in there. And so really got to kind of see a little bit more of like, what's this pitching staff potential or what's the ability or the potential of this pitching staff. And exciting because, right, we graduate out Sophia Boyles and Kinsey Norton and they threw a ton of innings. And so that's a big question mark. And as a coaching staff, it was imperative that we got some experience out of the portal. And so Madeline Johnson and Kinley Hillary having experienced and pitched innings at the collegiate level, a good bit of innings at the collegiate level is important just to help bolster and allow the rest of those pitchers to develop this year and piece everything together. So that was really exciting. And we've got like I think 14 newcomers, so it's still a different team. As much as there's returners, it's very much a different team and a lot more speed, a lot more short games. So it was fun to see, Andy. Yeah, it was. And Auburn was a great game as well. I think we played eight, and I think we ended up maybe the score was like 12-6, and we won. So like I mean, just really good outings and competitive outings, which is what we want to see. Is every time we step on that field, do we get better throughout the fall? And I think they rose to that occasion.
Yeah, you're already seeing the vision and the identity of this team come together during the fall. Georgia Tech fans are familiar with some of your returners like Alyssa Willer, Grayson Tucker, Paige Vukadinovich, Addie Leshford. You'd mentioned some of the transfers who will look to make
Mhm.
their names known this spring, but you're also welcoming in nine freshmen. What did they prove to you during the fall? Anybody who's watched your program at Georgia Tech, Eileen, knows if you've got the talent as a freshman, you're not shy about playing them.
Yeah, I think one, playing great competition allows us the opportunity to see like, hey, how do they handle the pressure? Like, these freshmen have seen some of these teams on TV, right? You've seen Carlin Pickens or Tennessee on TV. You've seen our World Series. Are you going to shrink in that moment? Or are you going to, just approach it like business as usual? And so I think Gracie King, one of our freshman catchers, just came up really big, swung a great bat all fall, and was really just impressed with, her poise. Moment never seemed too big for her, and so that was exciting to see. One, Madison Duffel, over from East Coweta High School, middle infielder, so plays a little second, a little short. Similarly in there, not looking overwhelmed in any capacity, just looking like I'm here to compete, I'm here to win. And so I think that was exciting as well as, how do they handle those moments? And seeing those two in particular rise to that occasion was exciting. And obviously, the rest of the freshmen are working and developing and finding opportunities there. But I think if you were going to just kind of circle two that stood out the most in those moments and looking like, yeah, I can compete at this level. Again, all of them can compete at this level, but seeming most ready right now, those two were probably the two that stood out to me. Beyond that, Andy, I mean, it's a great time to be a Tech fan. The brand is doing amazing. Love to watch, what Coach Key's doing. with his program. And so I think that really it's been exciting on the recruiting trail to see how many people are just so supportive of the Jackets. And that helps us as well when we're out there recruiting, is seeing that brand and seeing all the hype. And so, we continue to root for our football program and love to see, the season they're putting together. And, it's fun because usually I get harassed out there at times, and got a lot more Go Jackets this fall out on the recruiting trail. So we love to see it. And, it reminds me of early 2000s as well, when we were just crushing it all cylinders in our sports. And so, chest puffs out a little bit more when you're walking around, and it's a fun thing. And I think the players, recruits, everybody just buys into that and loves it. And so it's a fun time here on the flats, and it's a fun time to be wearing Georgia Tech gear around campus, around Atlanta, and around the country.
Well, I know Brent Key is also proud of his fellow alum. Make sure you come out, support these Yellow Jackets at Viewborn Field beginning in February, and it'll be here before you know it. Eileen, we always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of Tech Talks.
Thanks, Andy. Sting 'em.